Hi everyone, how you guys are doing? So I wanted to do a presentation for you guys. It's going to be about knowing your hair texture. I think you guys is going to hopefully find value in this. I'm just going to share my screen here for you guys. So give me a moment here and I will have everything ready for you guys. Let's see. Uh-oh, let's go back. Um, okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So, do you know your hair texture? That is the question I have for you guys. So just think about that. The back of your mind, do you know your hair texture? Like for me, I do, but everyone don't, and that's okay if you don't. So the whole point of this presentation, I'll call it my little mini class. The whole point of this is by the end of this video, hopefully uh you will learn how to know your hair texture, and hopefully by the end of this video you would actually know um your hair texture, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into this, and I won't hopefully this presentation won't take too long, but I definitely wanted to definitely hit some points, and I wanted to uh I wanted to be I want this whole presentation to be valuable, if that makes sense. So let's dive right on in. So uh hair texture breakdown. Here's a breakdown of the main hair texture. So I'm going to break this all the way down for you guys. All right. So number one is fine hair. All right. So fine hair is characterized by thin, delicate strands that can be easily weighted down by products. Often it appears soft and silky, but can be prone to oiliness and tangling. It is difficult to hold styles and may appear limp or flat. All right. So it requires lightweight products and gentle handling to prevent breakage. So usually people with fine hair, they the, it's hard for them to have a lot of products on their hair, because if they have a lot of products, it weighs their hair down very easily, which if your hair is weighted down, it's hard to style. All right. So those are the kind of issues that they deal with, right? Also, they have it's difficult to hold style. So, like if they're using a curl, okay, we talk. If they're curling their hair, they find that a lot of times the curls doesn't stay as long, just because it's easy for their curls to um, it's easy for the curls not to hold, if that makes sense, or whatever. So those are the issues they have. They also deal with oiliness, so their hair gets really oily, especially if they again apply products to their hair, and if they accidentally have a little bit too much product, that's uh that will cause the hair to be weighted down and also cause it to be really oily. All right. So those are the issues so far. So anything that I just said kind of resonates with you, and those are the issues that you find that you deal with your own hair, then more than likely this is you. You have fine hair, right? So definitely down in the comment, just say uh, fine hair if that's you, or you can just say number one down in a comment that this is you. All right. So, I mean, we can't, what's the word I was trying to say? We honestly, when it comes to our hair texture, we, I want to say we don't really get a choice on our hair texture. I mean, if I'm gonna be really honest, we really don't. So, you know, it's all about educating ourselves, um, finding ways on how we can maintain and learn how to uh, learn how to have healthy hair. And we do that by educating ourselves about it. We find ways on how to do just that, so we can have healthy hair, because that is the whole point at the end of the day. You want to have healthy hair. You want to have hair that is nourished, that is thriving and growing. All right. You don't want to have hair where it's not. All right. It's not growing. It's thin. It's breaking off, shedding. You don't want none of those problems. All right. So yeah. So like I said, if this is all you, then definitely down in the comment number one. All right, or you could just say fine hair. Let's move on. So let's talk about medium hair. So this is a another hair texture that a lot of people have. All right, medium hair. All right, so this offers a balance between fine and coarse hair with strands that are neither too thick nor too thin. So hence to why I say it's called medium hair, because the person or whoever this is, they don't have too much of a coarse hair, and their hair strands are not too thin. It's not too thick or too thin. It's just right in the middle, all right? So it holds styles relatively well, and it can be versatile in terms of styling options. So people with medium hair, they are more likely to be able to hold styles better. So that could be where they're able to um, I don't know, use a curling iron and their curls will hold a lot better. Also, they may be able to, um, I'm trying to think what else I was trying to say regarding that. Let's just leave it as they can do different styles, and there's the styles that they do, it lasts longer. All right, so hence to versatile. So their hair is very versatile as far as styling options go. So it requires moderate care. So it does require moderate care. It can benefit from products that enhances volume or definition. All right, so products, they are able to apply products in their hair, and they also are able to have more definition or enhance um, definition with the products that they apply to the hair. Right? So yeah. So if this is you, down in the comment, just say medium hair, or just put a number 2 down in a comment if this is you. Again, I love engagement, y'all. I really, really love engagement, and I would truly appreciate it if you can do that for me. Okay, so number 2, if this is you, just say number 2 or medium hair down in the comment. Either or, it doesn't matter, all right? I just like to know what hair texture you are, and I promise I'm going to reveal mine, all right? So the third one, all right, is coarse slash thick hair, all right? So down in the comment, y'all, you know what I want you to do, down in the comment. Number 3 down in the comment, or you can just say course. I know what that means. All right. So if this is you, down in the comment. All right. So um, coarse hair is usually thick, strong strands that are resistant to breakage and can handle heat, styling, and chemical treatments. All right. So it holds styles well, and it creates full voluminous looks. All right. So it can be prone to dryness and frizz, requiring more moisturize. Y'all. My pronunciation. It requiring moisturization or moisturizing. So yeah, I get it. Moisturizing and smoothing products. So it can be prone to dryness, frizz, requiring moisturizing and smooth products. I'm going to get it, y'all. So it may take longer to dry compared to fine or medium hair. All right, so with your hair being really thick, it does take longer for your hair to dry. And now I did say I was going to tell y'all which one am I. Obviously, I am the girl with the thick hair. All right, so I have coarse hair. I always had coarse hair. Have coarse hair. Right, and so my hair definitely takes longer to dry. It does, but I learned to love that. I learned to love the fact that my hair does take longer to dry, and I also am loving wash day, where I've came a long way, y'all, because I'm going to give y'all my backstory pretty soon about my whole hair journey. All right, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you the tea of my background. I'm going to try my best to not be too lengthy with my background, y'all, because your girl get to talking and lose track. All right. So again, don't forget down in the comment if this is you with the coarse hair, just say coarse, or you can put number 3. That way I know which hair texture are you. This is for everyone that definitely already know who they are. And if you don't know, that is okay because I got you. By the end of this presentation, you are going to learn your texture. If you just like, I don't know it, that's okay. All right, you're going to learn it. You're going to know it. And once you learn it, then I want you to still, I want you to be able to participate. And you feel free to go ahead and just reveal your, your hair texture once you learned it, once you have it learned, once you have it down, once you have learned it after this presentation. All right, let's move on. So determine your hair texture. This is important, y'all. Determine your hair texture. So this is how you want to determine it, okay? So we're going to do what is called a finger test. And I'm a very visual person, and I don't know how many of you are visual like myself, but hence to why there are pictures, because I feel like that's important, because I could describe it for you. Matter of fact, I was going to demonstrate, and I still am going to demonstrate it for you because I think that's important too to demonstrate. But also, I just put this picture here for more of a visual because of my visual learners like myself. All right, so I figured this would be very helpful. So, the finger test. So you will take a single strand, just kind of like how she has it, of clean, dry hair, of course, because you want your hair to be dry, but also you want it to be clean. And roll it between your thumb and your forefinger, which is really your index finger. And I probably should have changed that to index finger instead of forefinger, but it's all good. I'm explaining to you now what that means. It's just your index finger. So this is your index finger. And then, of course, you know what a thumb is. And you want to take it, and I can just grab a strand of my hair right now to demonstrate this because I think it's important. So here's a strand, and this is, hopefully you can see me very well. All right, so you're going to do this, and you're just going to kind of like, feel it. Feel it to kind of determine if your hair feels thin, if it feels like medium, or if it feels thick. All right, and based on whatever you discovered or whatever you came to realize, then that is your texture. That's your hair texture, whichever one. All right. For me, I'm I'm coarse. All right. Um, but also I'm not just only coarse. Like my strands are coarse, but my edges, however, is fine. All right. And I'm going to explain that because you're going to be like, huh, what did you just say? How can you be both? You're going to learn. All right. You're going to learn. And you might learn it. And you first to learn. All right. I don't want to reveal too much, but you first to learn it. All right. So, like I said, if you feel a noticeable thickness, your hair is likely coarse. If it falls in between, your hair is medium. So, and of course, if it's thin, it's fine. All right, so let's move on. Okay, it's important to note. So you can have a combination of different textures on your head. All right. So here's to what I was just trying to say, but I didn't want to really reveal it right then and there, but I kind of did. So my edges, however, like up in here, it's more on a fine type of texture, whereas midway and my ends are thick, y'all. It is thick, right? So hair textures can change over time due to factors like aging, hormones, and chemical treatment. So even chemical treatments like relaxers, like perms, all of that can mess with your hair texture and change it completely. All right. But if you know that you were born with medium hair, and of course if you start diving into relaxing and diving into perms, of course that's going to change your natural hair texture. All right. And in order for that to reverse, or in order for um what's the word? You know how you hear a lot of people say that they're gonna do the big chop, the reason behind their big chop is because they have altered their hair tissue with all the chemicals they have put into their hair, whether if it's color, dyes, or whether it's, chemicals with relaxers and stuff, or with perms and things like that. So in order for that to reverse, you you find where people say, I'm going to do the big chop, or some people don't go that drastic and they decide to um, slowly do it, where they're not doing the big chop, but you'll find where they say, I'm just going to start doing a whole lot of protective styles. I'm just going to wash my hair, condition, do what's the word? Condition treatments, do different conditioner treatments, do wash the hair, and then once they wash the hair, they do two-strand twists, or they do braids or whatever, and then whoever is styling their hair, or if they're styling their hair themselves, they are slowly cutting um, the uh, the areas where the chemicals had altered their hair and changed it. All right, so I know this, y'all, because your girl have been through it. Right? I've been there and done that. That's the reason why I'm pretty familiar. Because honestly, I'm not the big chop girl. All right, I gonna have to own that one and just be very transparent here. I am not the the I'm not that drastic. I don't know. I just can't be, right? So I have not been at a place where I can just say that I'm going to dive right into big chop. I just cannot do it. So kudos to everyone that can do it. My first shout out to my sister, because even she was confident enough to do that, the big chop. All right. So honestly, I just cannot, I don't know. I can't put myself there, right? At least I feel like I can't either way. I don't know. I just can't. So in my case, I'm that girl. I'm that girl that would do all kinds of different protective styles, whether if it's wigs, whether if it's um, like I said, the two-strand twist, whether braids, all of that, which you got to be very careful with braids, and even with wigs, depending on how you're styling your hair with the wigs. But I don't want to get off topic here. But just make sure when you're doing protective styles, make sure those protective styles are not causing harm to your hair. Because the whole point of, if you are trying to do protective styles um, to uh, to help with to help with hair growth, and help you from like, if you're trying to um, get your natural texture back in your hair, and you're not, and if you're more like me and you're like, I'm not doing the big chop, then just make sure those protective styles that you do is not harming your hair. That is, make sure that if you do braids, make sure the braids are not too tight. Make sure that you protect your edges at all costs. If you're doing wigs, especially if you're doing lace wigs, make sure your edges is protected, especially if you decide to mess with glue. I'm going to highly, highly, highly suggest that those wig caps are double to triple. I'm being very transparent here. And you need to have at least 2 to 3 wig caps on your top of your head, and make sure that your edges is very well protected before you apply that glue onto your wig cap. So then you can put your lace down and make sure that the lace is uh what's the word I'm trying to say here, y'all? To make sure that that lace is laying very good on your wig cap, because of course you want your lace wig to look very realistic on your head, right? So of course, again, I'm gonna say 2 to 3 wig caps, then proceed with the lace. Lay the once you because you're gonna have the lace up to apply the glue on top of your wig cap. All right. Now you don't even have to do glue at all. At all. The glue is more for people that wants to wear their lace wig at night and they do not want to take the lace they don't want to take the wig off at night. I guess that's what I should say. So I recommend those people to go ahead and you can proceed with glue, but proceed with caution. Make sure that your real hair and your edges is very well protected. I can't stress that enough. It needs to be very, very well protected. Again, 2 to 3 wig caps and then go ahead and you can apply the glue and then make sure you blow dry to make sure that that glue, I'm gonna use the word tacky, gets tacky a little bit, and then go ahead and lay your lace down. Then of course, if you have the little black band, definitely do not uh, shy away from using it. Again, everything you can to you want to make sure you have that realistic look happening, right? And so yeah, right. So that's all I really want to say regarding that. But yeah, just make sure that you protect your edges, protect your hair at all costs. If you are going to do wigs and lace wigs, I can't stress that enough. Again, braids, make sure your braids are not too tight, make sure they're not too small, make sure they're not too big, because again, y'all, those things, there's some people have lost hair with braids, getting braids, getting micro braids, I know this because my edges got jacked up, for dabbling in micro braids and even braids for that matter. So you just gotta know, how to protect your hair for one, and also be very careful who your stylist is. If I'm just going to be very transparent, be careful who your stylist is. Make sure that your stylist that you choose and selected are someone that is certified and know what they're doing as far as making sure that they are not causing harm to your hair, um, that they are very careful when it comes to making sure that they're not causing breakage at all with the styles that they do. Now, again, over the years, um, just me personally have gone to different variety of different stylists. um, I have experienced some that is um, very highly um, educated. And when I say educated, like they are very mindful of what they um, mindful of how they style your hair. They are very careful, and they even talk to you about how to care for your hair at home. All right, and so those status. So those stylists, I give kudos to. I really, really do, because it's really hard to find good stylists. If I'm gonna be like very transparent here, it's very hard to find good stylists. So for when you do stumble up on the ones that are very mindful and they are very like their overall goal is to make sure you have healthy hair, kudos, because again, I've gone to so many stylists, and with all that being said, out of all those stylists that I've gone to, and I've gone to a lot, y'all, over the years, and out of all the ones that I've gone to, if I'm gonna be very honest and transparent, maybe only 4 people out of a whole lot of people have uh, have really been very careful with my hair, and gave me very good advice about my hair, and even told me what I need to do when I go home. I think those things are so important, because again, your stylist is not going to go with you at home. They're not going to follow you at home. So when you have a stylist that actually take the time to say, okay, this is a product that I want you to get and to have. Why? Because this is how you going to um, maintain a healthy hair. Okay, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. All right. Um, I think when stylists does do things like that, that shows how much they care about your hair. It shows that how they are striving to make sure that their clients have healthy hair. I think that's important versus when the person really don't care. They just care about making a buck. They just care about making money. You know, someone come along time, I really want micro braids really bad, and if their edges looks in a horrible state and and if the stylists actually know this, but they're like, well, you know what, this is what she wants. Believe me, I've heard the stories, y'all. Matter of fact, I even heard the people what they have said, and they're like, um well, it's not my job, this person wanted it, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen for them. Don't I feel like don't do that, because then if something go wrong as far as if their hair start breaking off, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame you. So I say it's very important to not put yourself in that position. I'm talking to stylists, I'm talking to cosmetologists, anyone that does hair. I'm talking to you right now because I think that's so important to not put yourself in that place. um, just because you may need the money or whatever. If you needed $200 or $300 and someone come along saying that they need their hair done, they need braids did, or they need sew in done, or a quick weave done, whatever they need done, and if their hair is really not at a place to get that style, I think it's really in your best interest to be very honest with that person and just tell them the reasons why you saying what you're saying, because at the end of the day they're going to thank you. You want them to thank you versus them bad mouthing your name and telling everybody and their mama that you broke their hair off and that you destroyed their hair. Because now if you have people going around doing that to you, that is going to hurt your business, not help your business. It's going to in the long run, more and more people get wind of, of what this person is saying, that, you destroy the hair, that cause the hair to break off, then that's ruining your business. That's ruining your reputation. Because, now you have a lot of people, saying, "Okay, don't go to this person because so and so said that this person broke her hair off, that they destroyed her hair." You don't want that. You do not want that. So to avoid all of that, it really is just best to not focus. No, I don't care if you really need the money. It's better to just be very honest and just tell the person. And maybe the person really don't want to hear that, and they're probably telling you that they don't care. At the end of the day, they are going to care, because again, every as much as someone say that they don't care, they just really need to get their hair did. They really need to get those braids did because they really, really need it, and because they got this and this and this to do. Y'all, they're gonna really eventually thank you for that, because again, your hair is the precious thing on your head, and you don't want to be the cause of destroying your hair. You really, really don't. All right, and stylists, you don't want no one saying that you were the cause of their hair getting destroyed. All right, so all right, I got off task here a little bit. I apologize, but yeah. So it's important to know that you can have a combination of different textures on your head, and it's really all just because of the factor of aging, hormones, and chemical treatments, which I kind of hit all of those, because even aging can cause you to over time to have different hair textures. And of course, hormones can too. If you're taking different medications that affects your hormones, that can be a big factor. Or just genetically, hormones and genetically can cause it too. So yeah. Let me see. All right, so goal is to have healthy hair. So hopefully, I'm hoping this is your overall goal. I'm hoping that your overall goal in the long run is to have healthy hair. So knowing your hair texture helps you choose the right products and styling techniques. So to achieve your desired look and maintain a healthy hair. So of course I got these pictures here because again, like I told y'all, I'm a very visual person, right? So just give you some pictures of healthy hair, someone that has shiny, um, healthy, healthy hair, you know? So let's move on. So let's talk about book your next appointment with me. Hair consultation. So why clients should book a hair consultation with KeKe Beauty Care Expert, all right? And I'm going to like break this down for you because I think that when it comes to having hair that you are wanting to get in a healthy state is really, really, truly important, y'all. I can't really stress that enough. Okay, it's our job to protect our hair. It's not. I mean, yes, our stylists have a responsibility at the end of the day, but if we're going to be really honest, I just kind of went over. Um, not that long ago about from my experiences with a variety of different stylists that I've had over the years, and out of all of the ones I had, I've only can really pinpoint maybe four out of every one that I had that really showed like they truly cared about my hair and truly care about making sure that I have healthy hair, all right? And even, walk me through, different products and different things that I can use at home to keep my hair healthy. It's only a few that I have dealt with, all right? And I think that is truly important. I can't really stress that enough. That is so, so important because, again, your stylist is not going to be with you when you're at home. I mean, you can say all day that you want your stylist, that you want your stylist to do your hair. That's fine and all, but you need to know your hair. You need to be able to maintain your hair, be able to keep your hair at a healthy state. Your stylist, yes, your stylist do have a responsibility at the end of the day, but also you have a responsibility at the end of the day to maintain your hair and have a healthy hair. All right. And it's really more your job than your stylist job. Now, it is your stylist job too, but overall, it is your job. Why? Because you should know your hair more than anyone else. You should know what type of hair you have, whether if you deal with dry hair, do you deal with more of a your hair being more oily, or do you deal with your hair being more on the dry side? Do you deal with where you're dealing with I'm trying to think of the word now, and I don't know why I can't think of the word. Dandruff. That's the word. I kind of like, okay, why can't I think of this? So, or do you deal with dandruff? Which, if you're dealing with dandruff, obviously that means you're dealing with dryness, all right? So, do you deal with breakage? Do you deal with shedding? Do you hair shed a lot? Those are things that you need to be aware of. And when you are experiencing these things, you need to start educating yourself on how to stop it. How can you minimize this? How can you minimize shedding? How can you minimize if your hair is breaking off? How can you minimize if you are say for example, you love to curl your hair with the curling iron. Okay, obviously it's not good to put too much heat on your hair. All right. And also the other issue is that it's important to know what type of heat protections that you can apply on your hair to avoid your hair getting too hot. All right. And not just that, but also you have the other issue with making sure when you're plugging in your curling iron, you want to make sure what number do you have your curling iron set to, or if it's digital, you need to make sure, okay, um, look on the screen and see where where do you have it at? Do you have it at 360? Do you have it on 320, 280? Like what temperature do you have your curling iron on? Because all of those things are very, very, very important. Also, what type of heat protection like products are you applying to your hair so your hair is not breaking off when you using a curling iron, all right? All those things are important. Also, you want to not get in the habit of using the curling iron way too much either. That's another thing within itself. But I'm just using those as examples to kind of give you guys an idea what I'm talking about. All right. So just be mindful of your hair, be mindful of what products um, that your hair seems to love and what products your hair seems like it hates. Because again, at the end of the day, your hair will tell you everything. You just got to be mindful of your, or be not be observant is the word I should say. Be very observant of what your hair likes versus what your hair don't like. Be observant of things like that because that is super duper important. I can't stress that enough. All right. So again, um, book your next appointment. Okay, so hair consultation. So I do hair consultations, y'all. Why clients should book a hair consultation with KeKe Beauty Care Expert. Okay, I'm fit to talk about that. Uh, if it lets me talk about that. There we go. Sorry. So the benefits of booking a hair consultation. So I have customized hair care plan. So I wanted to kind of give you guys an ideal of how this will look for you if you did decide to book a consultation with me. I think this is so important for my viewers or audience to have a visual of, okay, if if they book a consultation, how will this look like? Because I know for myself, if it was me and if I was watching someone talk about that, about hair consultation that they do, if they do hair consultation, they're talking about it, and they're talking about how they help people get their hair in a healthy state. Also, they help with hair growth, and if you're having hair loss and everything, of course, those words are going to um, get my attention for sure. All right, it's going to get my attention for sure. But the other thing is that I'm going to want to know, like, okay, if I decide to book a consultation with he or she, my first instinct is going to be I would want to know, like, how would that look like? How would that look like for, like, if I decide to contact this person? How would that look like? So I think that's important, and I'm just trying to put my mind in the I'm trying to put myself in a place where my audience and viewers will probably be at, if that makes sense. All right. So I figure you guys probably would like to know, like, okay, how would booking a consultation, how would that look like? And so I'm just to kind of lay it all out for you. Okay. So like I was saying, we will do a customized hair care plan. So get a tailored product and care recommendations for your unique hair type, your texture, and your goals. Okay, because all that is important. So we will do a scalp and hair health analysis. Identify your scalp conditions like dryness, buildup, or sensitivity before starting treatments. All right, right service for the right hair. All right, so avoid unnecessary or damaging services by understanding what your hair truly needs. All right, so this is important because sometimes we think we know what our hair needs, and obviously there's times where we don't know. Like for myself, been there and done that. There's products that I felt like, okay, this is what my hair needs, and I was so wrong till it wasn't even funny. All right. So yes, so it's important to know and own if you made a mistake, own it. Don't, because again, we're not perfect. No one's perfect. All right. So we 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 can um we can make mistakes. All right. All right. So goal setting, that's important. So whether it's growth, hydration, repair, or styling, set realistic hair goals and a path to reach them. So I think this is important. So we're definitely going to touch on goal setting. We're going to kind of get in a place where I'm going to need to know from you what is your goal? Like, because if you feel the need that you need my services, obviously there's a reason behind why you need my services, right? So whether if it's growth, whether if you're just not satisfied because your hair is constantly dry. So again, that would be more on the lines of, you want you want to focus on hydration, on how to get your hair hydrated. Repair. So maybe you're dealing with strands, um, uh, your strands are breaking off. All right. Maybe you're dealing with um, just bald spots, different stuff like that. I kind of put those things kind of on the repair list a little bit there. Um, but yeah, so if that's like where you're at, then of course we can, that would be a goal that you will want to focus on, and we would talk about that. We'll talk about how that would look like. Your goal could just be about styling, like, okay, what different styles, what safe styles that I can do, because you might be at a place where you feel like the styles you do is hindering you, or the styles you do is causing some issues with your hair, and now you just need to know what would be some healthy hairstyles that you can implement and do. And if that is where you at, again, um, don't don't feel like you cannot get a hair consultation because of the fact that you're more on that type of uh vibe, or that's where you at as far as styles go. Okay, so set realistic hair goals. So we will talk about what a realistic hair goal will look like, what would that would be, and we'll have a path to reach each goal. Okay, so we're not over here in my space. I call it my space. We're not going to do unrealistic goals. We're going to set realistic goals. We're going to set goals that I feel that can be reachable. Like we can get to that place. All right. Save time and money. So stop wasting your money on products and services that do not work for your hair type. All right. So if you find that you have wasted so much money on different products that you thought was going to work and it's not working, and you still are struggling, then it is time to stop wasting your money and figure out another way to get results. And I mean, results that's going to work, not results that's going to just um, make you frustrated and make you um, wish that you never did what you did, or buy what you bought, or whatever. Let's see. All right. So build a relationship with your stylist. All right. So um, how that will look like is that, we will talk about that. Like if you are currently seeing a stylist, and let's just say you do like your stylist. All right. So we can talk about how you will go about building a relationship with your stylist, meaning what questions or what are some things that you should be asking your stylist, because sometimes, you know, if you're that's just like I keep reverting back to what I said. So you remember what I said about, I've had stylists that have asked me, or not asked me, but I've had stylists that have told me, not asked me, but have told me what products I should buy and use to maintain a healthy hair, and products that will work for my hair. All right. So let's just say everyone is not the same. Every stylist, because like I said, I've had I've had all kinds of stylists, y'all. I've had over the years, I've have went to a variety of different stylists. Okay, so with all that being said, just because a stylist is not asking you or not telling you what you should do when you go home, or better yet, just because the stylist is not giving you like I'm gonna call it a homework assignment. Um, I guess necessarily it doesn't mean that they don't care. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't care. All right. Sometimes, it just take you to make the first initial step and let the stylist know where you at in your hair journey, and let them know that you at a place where you are trying to grow your hair. You are at a place where you are trying to minimize shedding. If you're dealing with shedding, you need to let your stylist know that, like, hey, I've been dealing with a lot of shedding. I'm actually trying to find ways on how to minimize that. Can you offer me some suggestions? Can you offer some advice on how I can do that? Sometimes it has to be you to put that out there versus expecting them to do it. All right, because a lot of times it's probably just not going to happen. Does that mean they don't care? Sometimes we come up with our own assumptions thinking that, okay, they don't care. A lot of times they don't mean that. It just mean that they probably tired and worn out, and they're not really focused on trying to you know um trying to figure out ways on, or I shouldn't say figure out ways. What I am going to say, they probably so tired that they are not thinking about asking you if there's if there's advice that you want them to give you. All right. I mean, they're probably so tired, they're not thinking along those lines. All right. So um, you have to kind of put that out there and let them know, okay, this is my struggle. Can you offer me some advice? Can you offer some suggestions? I mean, sometimes you will have to make that first initial nudge, um, you know, instead of you expecting them to do so. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. But definitely we will talk about how that will look like as far as building a relationship with your spouse, a relationship that you want to build, not a relationship that, I don't know, that, I want you guys to kind of um, build a relationship that you will want to build. All right. I think that's super duper important. All right. Gain trust and comfort with your beauty therapist, which would be me, of course, before starting a long-term hair care journey. All right. So um, we would talk about how that will look like as far as, okay, um, what type of journey are we going to have, how that will look like, what to expect. I think that's important. All right. You know, we will discuss product recommendations because that's important. I would give you recommendations on products that I think that would be custom personally to you. All right. Receive professional suggestions for what to use at home to maintain salon results, because at the end of the day, we want to have salon results, whether we are at the salon or not. All right. And y'all, again, we get to the point where we think about, okay, I have to go to the salon. I gotta I gotta get them to do my hair. I gotta get them to do my hair. And at the end of the day, you want to be able to do your own hair, right? You want to be able to learn how to um, maintain your hair. You want to learn how to be able to grow your hair. You want to learn how can you um, have healthy hair. You want to learn how can you do this, not someone else. How can I? And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. I'm not saying that you should feel I don't know what's the word, feel bad about yourself because you got to ask for help. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that once you ask for the help, learn how learn how you can maintain your hair. How can you learn how to keep your hair washed and conditioned and deep conditioned and styling? How would that look like for you? How can you do those things without ruining your hair? Because you don't, because it makes you feel horrible when you found out that because I know for me, I felt horrible when I found out I destroyed my hair. And to be honest, that has not gone away. Even to this day, even though I try not to dread about the past because I can't undo what I've done, believe me, when I think about it, I still feel horrible about what I've done. And I'm going to talk about my whole experiences with y'all. I have not forgotten about it, okay? Let me, again, it's hard for me to stay on task, but let me stay on task here. Um, all right, so prevent hair loss or breakage. So we see professional suggestions for what to use at home to maintain salon results, prevent hair loss or breakage. So we'll focus on that too. We'll talk about how will you prevent hair loss and breakage. Catch early warning signs and prevent common issues like breakage, thinning, or scalp irritation. We'll talk about that too because that's important. How you can catch warning signs about your hair. That's important. I think that is so, so important because a lot of times we miss that. We miss the boat. I know I feel like I have missed that boat so many times when it came to my hair as far as the early warning signs. All right, you don't want to miss that. You want to be able to educate yourself to the point where you are able to catch early signs. All right, because a lot of times our hair, not just our hair, our body overall gives us signs. All right, sometimes we catch it and times we don't. Okay, but you want to educate yourself to the point where you are able to catch those signs. All right, that's important. Understand your hair type. That is so important because if you don't even know your hair type, how are you going to maintain a healthy hair? There's no way you can if you're not even understanding what type of hair you have. Many people misunderstand their hair porosity, their density, and curl pattern. Let's get clarity. All right, that's important. Peace of mind. All right. You need to have a peace of mind about your hair. All right. I can't say that enough. Feel confident that your hair is in good hands, especially before major services like starlots, color, or treatments. All right. I just threw that in there because, a lot of us do get different services and a lot of us do go to stylists. Am I saying that that you should not go to a stylist? That's not what I'm saying. So hopefully that's not what you're getting from this whole mini class presentation that I'm giving you guys. Hopefully what you are getting from this is that I am teaching you on the importance of how it is important for you to be able to tr be able to care for your own hair, be able to um, maintain your own hair at home. Learn what products you should put on your hair and what products you should not put on your hair. Learn how important it is to wash your own hair, keep your hair clean. Learn how important it is to deep conditioning your hair. Learn how to learn how to what products, what protective styles, how you should style your hair. All of that is important, and you should be able to know how to do these things, and also um, learn how to avoid breakage. Learn how to if there is like if you are noticing um, dandruff, learning how to catch that, learning how to know that means your hair is too dry. So what you need to do, you need to moisturize your hair. These are things like if you educate yourself, you can kind of avoid a lot of hair problems, if that makes sense. So that's what my job is. My job is to teach you on the importance of learning how to have healthy hair. Okay. Which, if you have healthy hair, that's how you're going to see growth. You can't see growth if your hair is not in a healthy state. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so what could happen if you do not book a hair consultation? So, how does that look like? So, let's just say that you're like, I don't think I really need a hair consultation. I mean, I'm okay. Okay, that's your prerogative, right? So let's talk about that. So, what could happen? This is what could happen. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying this is what could happen. Okay, so hypothetically here, right? So you can have wrong services chosen for you if you don't book a hair consultation. Okay, you might choose a service that isn't right for your hair type or condition, risk damaging, waste of time and money, spend money on treatments or products that do not work or even make things worse. Undiagnosed scalp or hair issues, you could miss underlying problems like buildup, dryness, or damage that need special care. breakage or thinning. So those are results. I mean, I say results. Those are things that could happen if you choose not to do a hair consultation, which again, there's no right or wrong. It's all up to you. Only you know what you need. All right. So I just want to say that. Okay. So without understanding your hair needs, improper care can lead to breakage or stunt in growth. So sometimes, we find that we think that when we're doing our hair, or if we are, let's just say you are, um, uh, you're not seeing a stylist right now, that you are, you know, taking care of your own hair, that you are trying to care for your own hair. You just been washing and conditioning your hair, and you've been, doing your own styles. All right. But you notice that, your hair hasn't broken off, but it's also not really growing either. So that might be like a stunning growth. All right. So where you're not seeing a lot of breakage. Your hair is not really breaking off, but at the same time, you're not really seeing your hair really growing either. So that could be like a stunt of growth. All right. So um, maybe that is something that could be a concern for you that you want to address. All right. Or maybe you're satisfied and it's not. So either way, you in control of knowing what you want. All right. All right. So frustrations and setbacks. So you might feel stuck in your hair journey because there's no clear direction or professional guidance. Mismatch expectations. So results may not match your goals. So if there's no clear consultation to align your vision and reality, that can get confusing. Overuse or misuse of products. So using too many or the wrong types of products can clog your scalp or damage the hair shaft, and you don't want that. You don't want your hair shaft to get damaged, and of course, you don't want to overuse product. But also, you don't want to not use enough products, or you don't want to use the wrong products. All that could happen if you don't have a clear outline on what you should be doing. No, if there's no clarity, if you do not know, if you don't have someone to kind of guide you, it can get very confusing. No progress. So without expert input, it's hard to see consistent improvement in your hair growth, in your health, in your growth, or your style, right? So I just want to say that. Okay, so um let's smart let's start smart. I don't know what I was trying to read there, right? So let's start smart. All right. So the first step to your dream hair, it's not really luxury. It's not. It's a necessity for real results. All right. So just keep all of that in mind. All right. And all right. I want to go ahead and talk to y'all about my hair journey. All right. This is the last slide, FYI. All right. This is the last slide. But I want to take this time to kind of go over my hair journey a little bit because I think this is important. So, reason why I am teaching about hair growth, the reason why I am determined on teaching everyone about how to have healthy hair is because of my own personal journey, y'all. And I've y'all. So when I was young, all right, I had long hair. All right, I've had long hair, curly hair, but long hair. My hair was long. It was coarse. It was thick. Um, and in all honesty, I was not appreciative of my hair. If I'm just going to be very transparent here, I was not very appreciative at all. I was the little girl that would just give my mom a hard time when it came to my hair. Believe me, I did not like when my mom combed my hair. She would comb my hair. I would cry because that would hurt like a Dickens. I'm not going to lie. It would hurt like a Dickens. Um, but my mom, most of the time, she would keep my hair in pigtails. Um, you know, with when things like when things got what I'm gonna say. So by the time I got like I want to say like fourth or fifth grade, that is kind of where I started where I saw what other girls uh peers what they were doing with their hair, all right, and it started being where I wanted those type of things, all right. So I kind of uh started asking my mom, um could I, you know, get a perm in my hair, you know. I think I did get my first perm. I want to say maybe in the fourth grade, which didn't cause no breakage whatsoever. Um, but I did deal, you know, at that time, I didn't know that I was dealing with shrinkage because I was a curly girl. And so obviously now I know, you know, if you have curls, of course your curls is going to shrink. And I didn't know that at the time. I didn't even know what that was even called at the time. But I just knew that I would call it my hair would draw up. And I remember my mom, that's what she was calling it. She would say that I had spongy hair, is what I had, spongy hair. And my hair would shrink. All right. So by the time, at that afternoon, at the end of the day, my hair would just shrink up really, really, and I used to hate that. And I didn't understand that. I didn't understand why was my hair doing that. And I've seen where other girls would have their hair down and their hair was not doing that. Their hair still looked really pretty. It looked nice. Like where my hair was just all shrunk up. And I'm like, what is the deal? You know? And so for the most part, my mom would always either keep my hair in pigtails or in a one ponytail. You know, she would just do different styles with my hair because that's the type of hair I had. I had the hair where it would just sponge up. So in the sixth grade, again, your girl would just come home bawling in tears because my hair, um, I wanted my hair, you know, to be able to go be down and be able to rock my hair down. And I just could not do that. And I didn't understand that. And so eventually that did lead to a breakage where my mom had to cut my hair. And y'all, I was fearful. I was not gonna lie to you. I was so scared, but I did have my very first haircut in the sixth grade. All right. And so after my haircut, it wasn't really as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I got a lot of compliments. I've also got a lot of people saying that, girl, why did you cut your hair? Why did you have your hair? You know, I had a lot of people, you know, trying to uh you know, asked me why I did what I did, and I had other people that said they actually liked it. And so I had I had both. I had people, you know, saying, "Girl, why did you do what you did? You had the pretty hair. Why you cut it?" And I had people that said, "Oh, I like it. It's cute," you know. And I fell in love with my haircut. I really did. I fell in love with it. And also, not only did I fell in love with it, but I was able to rock it the way I wanted, which was down, you know, and it was curly, but it was down, and I liked it. And my haircut was different. You know, it was different. It wasn't like nobody else's haircut, so that made me like it even more so. Right. So, with all that being said, um, my hair grew really fast. All right, within the 5 or 6 month period, my hair grew back. It grew to shoulder length. All right, and so after my hair grew again, guess what? Your girl was back wishing that my hair was not sponging and was not, you know, I can get through a good day without my hair sponging up. It would not do that because again, I had curly hair, did not know doing the same things over again with the whole begging my mom for, you know, take me to a salon so I can get a perm, get whatever. Then again, not liking the results, which led to same old breakage and had to get another haircut. So by the time I want to say ninth or 10th grade, I had to get another haircut. And again, my hair did grow pretty fast. Again, within the 5 or 6 month period, my hair was back long, which was, you know, I was happy, but not happy, if that made sense. I think at that time frame, I think I was happy that my hair did grow. It grew pretty fast. And I was pretty content. And I was happy for a little while with my hair long. My mom would take the pressing with the straight comb, which I used to hate. with a passion because that grease would burn the dickens out of me, y'all. If you remember those days, Blue Magic. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many can like raise their hand and say yes. I remember those press and comb days on the stove, comb on the stove. My mama burning my neck, burning my head with that press and comb, y'all. Ooh, I don't know. I'm just cringing now thinking about all that. But yes, so anywho, um, I went through all of that, right? And again, back to the point where I am stressing my mom out with the whole wishing I can go to the salon, wishing that I can get a perm, wishing again, I'm putting all these chemicals that I really didn't need in my hair. I'm asking and begging for those chemicals because I am not proud of my hair. I'm not proud of my actual natural texture. I'm up here begging for, getting perms that is altering my texture and not only altering my texture, but causing breakage to happen. And so when I'm experiencing these breakages, I'm up there like in a loss as to why. But that is the reason. Now I know what I know, but I didn't know at that time, that given time period. I did not know. I was at a loss as to why I was experiencing breakage, but I was. And so uh by the time that I'm gonna go ahead and just fast forward, y'all. So by the time I'm in college, early years in college, I am dabbling and experiencing with extensions. I saw my stepmother, which she uh my dad's wife, um she's no longer here. She actually passed away, but um, she would do where she was doing her own hair. She was doing extensions and she was using glue. And I saw her do it and I was curious. I was like wanting to know, because I was saying how I like how she would do her hair. She had her hair so cute and I wanted it. I was wanting to be able to do that myself because she was doing her own hair and I was wanting to learn how to do that. So she was nice enough to kind of explain to me on how she was doing it. She told me all she's doing, she showed me what she was doing with her own hair. And she was like, yeah, she was like, you probably be able to do that too. This is all I do. And she was showing me how she was curling her hair after she did it. And I was in a awe. And I was like, okay, I gotta get that. I gotta do that. I gotta do that. So then I started going to the beauty supply, buying hair glue, buying extensions, thinking that I know what I was doing, didn't know jack what I was doing. Um, a good year of me doing that eventually led to hair loss, y'all, because I was taking the glue in my hair. All of a suddenly, I realized that I had glue stuck all in my hair. Couldn't get the glue out. By the time I got the glue out, I'm seeing hair, my actual wheel hair. And oh y'all, I was screaming. I didn't know. I'm like, what did I do to my hair? And after that experience, which was a horrible experience, because then I realized that I jacked my own hair up. So after that experience, y'all, I had no choice but to do glue. I mean, I say do glue. Y'all, I'm tired. So after that experience, I had to do wigs. That's what I was trying to say. And I'm talking about I had to do glue. I already did the glue and didn't like it, and my hair was out. So I had a bald spot. I had some bald spot. All right, near my edges. And I was very, very disappointed. I was in tears. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I can't believe I did this to my own hair and blah 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 blah. So after that, I started doing wigs, and I did those for a good 2, maybe 4 years. I was going to the beauty supply so heavily to the point where the people that work at the beauty salon, not beauty salon, worked at the beauty supply store knew who I was, all right, because I was going there that faithfully all the time, buying all kinds of wigs, trying to keep my hair looking nice. And I was doing that for a very, very good while, all right. Um, after I did that for a little while. I slowly transitioned back into wanting to do sew-ins. So again, I led me to go start going to stylists again, um, doing sew-ins. Did that for a little bit. Finally got my hair back in a healthy, I'm gonna say healthy state because my hair did grew to the point. It wasn't the same though because I had my edges was now thin and and it's still thin to this day. But now it's that it's thin, and I was very disappointed with myself and my self-esteem were um was kind of on the low side because I was at a place where I felt like I had to hide my hair a little bit, but so I wasn't too I was very insecure and I was feeling like I need to do protective styles in order to hide my hair, in order for my hair to grow out, which it did. Like I said, doing the sew-ins did literally grew my hair out. All right. I did bobs for a while too, y'all, which I was loving my hair bobs, and that was my real hair, by the way. I was loving the bobs. Um, but yeah, but just I made a lot of mistakes over the years, which is what's motivating me now to want to teach young girls, not just young girls, but teach everyone the importance of wanting to making sure that your hair is healthy. I had I'm gonna say jack up mindset because I was when in my 20s, y'all. I feel like I was talking crazy, but in my 20s, I was literally saying that I don't want to wash my hair. I hate messing with my hair. I hate detangling my hair. I hate this. I hate that. I did not want to wash my hair. I was at a place where I felt like I rather pay somebody to wash my hair. I rather pay somebody to style my hair and do my hair because I didn't want to touch my hair. Now, I am so very proud of myself because now I am in a awe with doing my own hair. I'm in a awe of wanting to wash my hair. I I was back then I would dread washing my hair. Now I find it comforting. Now I find it relaxing and soothing. And so, yeah, so I wish, I don't know, if there's a way I could have talked to my younger self and was just like slap my younger self, I would do so. I know you can't do nothing like that, but I just oh my goodness. But I am grateful for where I'm at now because now I'm at a place where I enjoy washing my hair and I just wish that I had that mindset back when I was younger. I don't have it now. Only thing I can do now is help other young girls, help even women my age, just help you guys out. Just let you guys know don't dread washing your hair. It's important to wash your hair. It's important to deep conditioning your hair. It's important to know what shampoos you should put in your hair and what not. It's important to know what ingredients that you should be looking for in your shampoos and your conditioners. Um, Try to stay away from words like sulfate if you can. Those words should make you where you do not want um, to um, to put that in your hair. Okay, you want to find bottles that says sulfate free, paraben free. Those are the words that you want to like kind of look for. All right, but this class wasn't really about trying to. I don't want to. Um, I want to say that for another day. I don't want to deep dive too much on ingredients at the moment. But just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a little education regarding that. Yeah, just if you can try to be mindful of that of when you're buying products, what to look for in your shampoos, what to look for in your conditioners, what to look for in your leave-in conditioners, what to look for in your moisturizer. All of that is super duper important, y'all. It really, really is. Okay, so that is my whole point. I just want to give you a little background story of myself, of my struggles along the way, why I'm passionate about what I'm doing, but this is why. All right. The other reason why I'm so passionate about what I'm doing, um, is because of the fact there is that, um, with my journey as far as, um, causing my own hair loss, where I do have thinning here, and it made me so insecure. It made me where I was not confident for so long, and I didn't know, like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I want to teach people that was like myself. I want to teach y'all, like, if you were like me, I want to teach you and show you that you don't have to feel that way. You don't have to be that way. Like, I want you to know that, there is a solution that um, you can you can be in control of getting your hair back in a healthy state. You can get your hair back growing again. Okay. Yes, it's going to take time, but doing the right steps, having a kind of like a guide on what that looks like, what you need to do to get there. It's going to happen, but you have to be motivated and be determined to do it. To do it, and you can. You're not alone. That's what I want to show you. I want to help you guys to know you're not alone. I'm here. I have your back. But at the end of the day, you will have to be the one to put the work in. All right. But I'm with you, and we can do this together. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is where I'm coming from with all of this. But I don't want anyone else to be like how I was. All right. And so, with all that being said, I, y'all, I don't know. I'm just very passionate. All right. So let me focus on the flyer so I can go ahead and end this. All right. This flyer here, it's just really what I call my consultation flyer a little bit, just like my little promotional consultation flyer, just to let people know that I do consultations. All right. So if you struggle with finding skincare products due to sensitive skin, I got your back. I got your back. All right. Because I help clients that that do have sensitive skin. I help them to find the right products, because I know how that can be really a struggle when it comes to the skincare game. All right, when you go to stores, and if you're trying to purchase skincare products, it really is hard to find skincare products that is geared for people with sensitive skin. Now, am I saying there's not none? No, I'm not saying that, because there really are products for sensitive skin. You just have to be very mindful, and to take the box or take the bottle and read the back of the bottle and see if the bottle says for sensitive skin, or if the bottle say suitable for sensitive skin. You have to do your own due diligence and read that and see that. And if it does not say it, then you have two options. Number one, don't buy it. Go ahead and put that product back and just don't get it. Or the other option is you can go ahead and get that product, but do a skin test when you get home, all right? And then there is um, a proper way on how you will go about doing a skincare test, all right? You want to do it the correct way and not the wrong way, all right? And I do have a guide on regarding that, on how you would correctly do a skincare test. All right. And so yeah, so again, I won't go over that in this video, but yeah, but I'm very passionate about my skincare tests, and I love teaching so many people about that. All right, because that's important. And also one more thing I want to say about the skincare test, and then I will stop. When it comes to skincare test, though, um, even though I tell my clients that have sensitive skin that they need to be really, really doing it, at the end of the day, I'm going to say everybody should be doing it, whether if you have sensitive skin or not. Just because if you're not familiar with a product, with a skincare product, you should be testing it regardless, whether if you have sensitive skin or not. All right, because that's just would really, really be the smart thing to do at the end of the day. All right, that's all I'm going to say regarding that. All right, okay. Now let me focus on the flyer here real fast. So again, I said about the if you struggle with finding skincare products, I'm your girl. All right. Especially if you have sensitive skin, I'm your girl. All right. The other thing is if you struggle with hair loss, I'm your girl. If you struggle with acne, I'm your girl. I'm your girl definitely for the factor is because I am acne prone. And so I know all about acne just because of my struggles and what I've dealt with over the years with acne. All right. Again, I'm going to have to talk about that on on another day. I think I do have a video where I kind of did go pretty intel in detail about it. I just forgot which video that is. Um, but I think I did. I have over the past talked about that. All right. I'm not going to do it here because this video is already going a little longer than I expected. Also, if you struggle with foundation matching, I'm your girl. If you struggle with dry hair, I'm your girl. All right. If you struggle with rosacea, I'm your girl. Struggle with eczema. If you struggle with psoriasis, if you're struggling with dry skin, I talked about dry hair, but also dry skin. That is also something that I help my clients with. So if you have dry skin, I help you with, we come up with a game plan on what to do to get your skin back in a healthy state. All right. So we go over all of that, y'all. So that is kind of where I'm at when it comes to helping my clients. Again, consultation appointments is so important. So I do hair consultation, I do skincare consultation, I do color analysis and makeup consultation. Now those are combined together just because I kind of limp those into one. I even limp my fashion into all, actually it's like a three. I didn't put fashion on my flyer because I didn't really have the space to, but I do color analysis, makeup consultation, and fashion consultation because all of that is kind of linked together. Reason why, because we're discussing color. We're discussing what colors are going to work for you. Like we discuss, are you a if you warm tone or if you or a cooler tone or if you more of a neutral tone. We go over all that. I don't do seasons because seasons to me personally can get very confusing and overwhelming. And for me, when I was trying to learn um, seasons, it was not clicking for me. Like I'm just gonna be very transparent. It was not clicking for me. I know a lot of people, actually a lot of people, when they talk about color analysis, they talk about seasons, which it's okay, you know, if it clicks for you, but it never had clicked for me. It gets very confusing for me and overwhelming for me. And it just you lose me every time when someone is talking about seasons. So when I met Lori Hall, and y'all, she is so phenomenal. Lori is so phenomenal. She is an international makeup artist, and she is very like she loves Mary Kay products, which so do I. So I think that's how me and her can click. All right, because I am very passionate about makeup. I mean, I said makeup. I'm very passionate about Mary Kay products. All right. I think they have amazing products. All right. Okay, so that is, I'm such a big believer with Mary Kay. Okay, because they got amazing products. All right, and so many other reasons why I am a MK girl for sure. All right, but I want to talk about that in this video. All right, but yes, I really do love Mary Kay products, and she does too. So probably hints to why I can kind of click with her, and the things she say kind of resonates with me, and I believe that's the reason why. So she also when she talked about color, she explained it way better where it clicked for me. She talked about the color wheel, but more importantly, when she said that she does not teach seasons because how overwhelming, that clicked for me because I'm like, oh my goodness, somebody finally said it. Like someone said it. That's how I feel. And so it made me felt normal. It made me felt like, okay, this is not just me. I thought maybe I was being slow. I thought maybe um, I just wasn't getting it. But no, someone else said that, you know, they don't bother with seasons either. Color, they don't, when it comes to color analysis, they don't do seasons. That resonate with me. So how she explained it, it made a whole lot of sense because she talks about primary color. She talks about bright colors. She talks about dark colors. That is how everything clicked for me. And that is how I was able to learn and have better clarity on color analysis, be able to understand it a whole lot better. And so now I teach my clients on how to go about, learning about colors and learning about what colors that will work for them versus what colors would not. And during our color analysis appointment, how that will look like is that you will sit in a chair. We will do drapings, different. You would try on different color drapings to see which one will work for you. Um, Even a little bit before we do drapings, one thing that I like to do that I kind of skipped on is I like to look at your wrist. Why do I like to look at your wrist? Because I like to look at the veins. I like to look at what color your vein is. I think that is super duper important because as much as we alter our hair color, you know, how we like to dye our hair, us girls, a lot of us not really walking our true hair colors, all right? But we can alter our veins, y'all. We cannot alter that. There's no way. We cannot alter our veins, okay? Our veins are something that we cannot alter. We cannot undo. We cannot change the color of it. It is what it is. So if your vein is more blue, like a bluish greenish kind of color, um, that is a more of an indication of you being more of a warmer tone type of person. Um, I think if you're blue, or no, I think blue is cool. I think it's cooler, more of a cooler. But there are different tones that we would touch on, okay? Because you got your olive girls, you got your uh, girls that are more of a red type of, we'll go over all of that. So we'll go over veins, we'll go over, matching with the drapings of different colors, which colors, bring out your look versus what colors make you look more tired or make you look more like washed, because you don't want to look washed. Um, there's things that you probably didn't even recognize that people do, because I know I didn't recognize it, and then it all clicked for me after I learned more about color analysis, learned more about um, you know, uh, when I had my training on it and learned more about it, everything started clicking for me. I noticed where when I was out and about, certain colors, people would say that it it like I look. They said it brightened up my look. Some people say you look really pretty. Um, Certain colors, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just say it really quickly what colors those are. Usually, if I'm wearing yellow, if I'm wearing orange, if I'm wearing red, people will say those colors look really pretty on you. It brightens your look. It your skin tone. It looks something like I've heard people say this to me, like literally, I kid you not, like they say that my skin looks good with yellow, or they say I look really pretty in it. I mean, so if you can, um, yes, I'm kind of giving you a little assignment, somewhat. All right. So just think about that. Just think in the back of your mind. Think about what colors that someone's have said that you looked it really pretty in, that it brightened your skin, or it make you look more vibrant. All right. What colors, if you can think about that, what colors people have literally said to you that they complimented you on. All right. Just think about that. All right. Think about that and just kind of, even down in the comment, if you know what those colors are, you can go ahead and just, engage with me a little bit. Go ahead and tell me what those colors are. I kind of went ahead and told y'all it's red, orange, and yellow for me. Okay, those are the three colors that I know people have literally said, "Oh, you look really pretty in yellow. You look really pretty in red. You look really pretty in orange." Those were the colors that people will always compliment me on. There is another one. I have this one outfit, this little jumpsuit that I have. It's more like a peachy. It's not pink, but it's like a peachy tone color. I get compliments when I'm wearing that outfit. People will say, I look pretty in that outfit. I look pretty in that color. So I have had several people literally just said that I look pretty in that color. And I would say thank you. Or I've had people that say that, that color is pretty. And I say thank you to that. But I've had people that literally have said that I look pretty in that color. And I would say thank you. Okay. So those are the colors for sure that I've have gotten compliments on, y'all. What does that tell me? Well, that does tell you some stuff. If you go back and think about the colors that people have told you, you will come to a realization what that will really tell you. All right. For me, that tells me that I'm obviously a warmer tone. Why? Because those are warmer colors. Peachy is more of a warmer color. Yellow, warmer color. Also, I think yellow is more of a primary color. I know red is too, by the way. But yeah, red. People will say that I look really pretty in red. So that's more of a primary color. So yeah, so just keep all that in mind, all right? I just want to kind of just guide you a little bit with colors and teach you a little bit about it just because I want you guys to realize how colors can either make you look washed or make you look young. Sorry, my throat getting dry. It can make you look young. It can also make you look like you have um, make you look like you have a lot of energy, make you look vibrant. Also can make you look old, like I said, washed. Some colors can even make you look fat. Oh my goodness, I've heard people say this. Um, so just keep all of that in mind. That's why colors matter. I know a lot of people be like, I don't really think colors matter. It matters, y'all. It really, and when I learned all of this, y'all, everything started clicking for me. It really did. So it is important. Why? Because if you learn more about colors, it helps you to know when you go shopping, when you buying your clothes, what colors you should stay away from, what colors you should be gravitating to and buying. So keep all that in mind. Okay. I'm talking about shoes, I'm talking about your pants, I'm talking about your blouses, I'm talking about your sweaters or your jackets, what colors you should be getting versus what colors you should not be getting. All right. Just keep all of that in mind. All right. Hair color. That's also with hair color. What if you decide to dye your hair? What color should you dye your hair? Should you be dyeing your hair more of a warmer tone if warmer tone doesn't really fit you? Probably not. All right. Um, especially if just keep all that in mind. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to. I don't want to confuse you. So I'm not trying to confuse y'all. All right. So that's kind of where I said I'm going to stop right there. All right. But hopefully it all makes sense. Again, if you have questions about anything that I went over or said or whatever, you definitely can ask me down in a comment. I'd be happy to answer questions. Also, if you would just like to book a consultation with me, you're more than welcome to. I do have my business number here on this flyer. So if don't feel hesitant to a point where you don't feel like you can reach out to me, you can I do prefer if you text me, but if you prefer to call me, go ahead. But definitely if I don't answer, definitely leave me a message on my voicemail and I will uh listen to my voicemail and I will return the call. All right. I just want to say that. All right. But yeah, so um, this is my consultation appointment. All right. So I have a hair consultation, I have a skincare consultation, and then I have a color analysis, which is combined with my makeup consultation. And I think they should be combined. Why? Because makeup is also dealing with colors. All right. I go over what lip shades you should what will work for you versus which ones would not work for you. Same way with eyeshadows, same way with foundation. A lot of us wear wrong foundation, all right? So we can address that during your color analysis appointment. We can discuss what foundation you should be wearing versus which one you should not. be wearing, if that all makes sense. Because once we go over if you're a warm tone or a cooler tone or a neutral, then that kind of determines which foundation you should be dabbling into, if that makes sense. Also, you can learn about CC creams, you can learn about concealers, you can learn about bronzers, you can learn about highlighters, blushes. We can go over the entire 9 yards if you choose to. I know some people are not makeup wearers, and that is okay. Why? Because I am more on those lines of not really a makeup wearer. I am learning. I am learning so much, and believe me, I'm at a place where I can't say I hate makeup because it's that would be crazy to say that. So I don't hate makeup, but the reason why I don't really wear makeup is because of the fact that for a very long time I was not comfortable to wear makeup. I didn't know what makeup I should wear, what colors I should wear. I wasn't too familiar with the different variety of makeups that's out there. All right. I really, really was not. All right. And so after me being in the beauty industry, it took time for me to learn all that. It took me time to learn about different variety of makeup and stuff like that. So yeah. So now I love to wear makeup if I'm doing photo shoots. I love to wear makeup if I'm going to somewhere special, like into any events, then I find myself where I really feel like I need to wear makeup. All right. So, do I hate makeup? No, I don't hate makeup. I just, for a very long time, was not comfortable with wearing it because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And I know there's probably other people out there that's just like me that, can't really say you hate it, but don't really know too much about it. And so if that is you, then definitely I want you to follow me and get to learn about me, get to know more about me. And not only that, but definitely, you know, catch my trainings, catch my classes, so you can learn more, okay? Because um, we're learning together, if I'm gonna be very, very honest about everything, all right? We're learning together, all right? So that's all I really gotta say about that, all right? But yes, definitely. Definitely schedule a consultation appointment with me so we can touch on all those things, all right, especially if you want to learn more about it. Also, I do parties as well. I host parties for any occasion or events. I shouldn't say any occasion. I know I kind of have been saying that when I'm talking to people about parties and stuff. I'm saying any occasion, but in all, I do have a list on my website on which like the type of parties I do, because I do kind of, to break it down for you a little bit, I do if um, office parties, I do those. I do birthday parties. I do bridal shower parties. I do I'm trying to think another one I do. Slumber parties, I guess. I just leave it like that for now, but there's others I do. But again, this video is entirely way too long. So I'm going to go ahead and end it on this note, but I do appreciate y'all taking the time to watch this video for one. And definitely, if you like this video and if you found value in everything that I talk about, especially about hair texture, especially if you learned about hair texture and learned about if you discovered your own texture within this video, definitely say that to me. Definitely say I learned. I will appreciate that if you can do that for me. But also, like I said, definitely hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed yet. Definitely like this video if you found value in this video, because I would appreciate that. That'll let me know that you did find value, that you learned something tonight or in the morning, which, okay, as I'm filming this, it's nighttime. All right, I just want to say that. But by the time you watch this, it can be morning for you, it can be in the afternoon for you, it can be in the evening, it can be night for you. All right, so I just want to be transparent on that. All right, so I understand that. So, however, whatever day it is, whatever, just definitely, down in the comment, just let me know if you learned something. I appreciate it. All right. Until then, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. Thank y'all so much, and have a blessed um, day or night. See y'all. Bye.